let me share with you how this dyslexic brain works to other people. I call my brain a zero gravity space. And let me explain what I mean by that. Imagine you've got this workshop. Your brain is a workshop. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about this workshop. I've got a little mind map about a workshop, a robot, what gravity has to do it, sticking things together, and mind mapping. Here's how it all fits together. So, we've got our workshop. Imagine this is your brain, my brain. It's a workshop, and I've got my table. And then teacher comes along and brings me something, teaches me about something, gives me this robotic hoover, tells me all about it. I take it into my workshop. What's the first thing that I do as a dyslexic? I take it apart, pull it to pieces in my imagination and try and figure out how it works. I'll probably even do it in real life if I got the chance. And if you're dyslexic, you probably pull things apart too. Now here I've pulled everything apart to try and understand it. But then I turn away and my attention goes on to something else. I leave things on the work table, I go away and to work on something else, and then I come back. Is it there when I come back? No, it's not there. In fact, it could all have disappeared. Or here I've got three big parts, but the other smaller parts have gone. And I'm kind of like, I'm sure I left them on that table. I was working on a robot. Where has it gone? I look on the floor. The floor is completely empty. I'll tell you where it's gone. It's floated up into the top of the ceiling. All the bits are bouncing around on the ceiling like helium balloons. My ideas have floated up from the workshop table up to the ceiling because my brain is like a zero gravity space. It's like I've gone from gravity outside the workshop in the regular world and I expect it all to stay there. And my wife, who doesn't have dyslexia, she comes back to her workshop table and with all the bits on it, they would all be exactly in the same place. But with a dyslexic brain, my brain, it's all floated away. Not completely away. I can pull it back down and reorganize it, but I have to do it every single time. This has pros and cons. So let's look at this gravity, okay? This gravity has the advantage that when I put my attention onto something on the work table, I can actually make it float, three-dimensionally understand it. I can take the robot pieces, place them against each other, position them, reposition them without having to worry about them falling off or falling down onto the floor. They just seem to just sit there and I'd be able to take ideas and fit them all together. Whereas other people, they have to have this kind of gravity workshop. They have to stick things in place and things fall over and it might be a bit awkward to figure it out and things like that. It just seems quite effortless for me to conceptualize it. That's the upside. It's easy to figure it all out. The downside though is that when I take this wonderful robot prototype of mine and I say, I want to share it with you, Mum, or my teacher, or my boss, or my colleague, and I take it outside of the workshop, this is what happens. Thunk, 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 thunk. It all just starts to fall to bits as I start explaining it to them, and I don't understand why. It's kind of like as I'm coming out the door of my mind and I'm explaining it, the first bits start happening, but then things just fall off and it just becomes a mess. And they're looking at this mess of pieces and they're kind of like, what are you going on about? And I don't understand it. Well, now I do understand it. It's gravity. And the answer to the problem of what to do about taking this wonderful prototype in my imagination and making it able to get out the door without falling to bits is duct tape. Duct tape. Sellotape. Here's my tape. I want to stick everything together. And so what I do in my imagination, I find a way to stick everything together. I don't need it when it's in my brain. It's just there. Yeah, I don't need to fit all this together. It's just there. It's all fitted. But I know I've got to carry that out the door to share it with someone. So I tack it together. And I can go out the door with my tray. I've tacked it all together and I explain it to someone like my mum, my friend. They're like, oh, I get that. Well done. Because it fits together and it sticks together. Now for me, the actual way that I stick my ideas together is with a mind map. Instead of writing lots of notes, what happens is when I write lots of notes, it's kind of like I'm looking at the idea and then I turn away. And when I turn away from the idea, it starts to float and dismantle itself and float away. And it's like I turn away to write some notes down and then I turn back and I go, oh no, come back, stay there. And then I turn down to write some notes and then nope, pull it. And I have to do this kind of turning and writing. I can't just take it all and write it all down in one go, because when I get halfway through, it all starts to float to the ceiling and I have to go through everything again to reconstruct it. And the answer for me is a mind map, because I don't need to do lots of writing. I can just take the key idea, looking at it, and I go, oh, there's that component part, like this one, head, write the head down, branch, stick it together, another component part, stick it, and all the branches and keywords fit it together like a blueprint without lots of words. And this is me with my blueprint on the wall, and you've maybe seen the video where I've got the quick release headphones and I can quick release my thoughts. Well, this is my quick release of thoughts. And I would encourage you as a parent to learn how to do this with your child. If they're creative or dyslexic, they might not even know they're dyslexic, or they might know that they're dyslexic. A lot of my students have found that this unlocks their abilities and releases them productively into the real world. So I'd encourage you to join a free 1-hour online workshop that we do with families together, and you can learn all about how mind mapping can take away a lot of the stress of high school and really get those ideas and make them productive in the real world for the rest of your lives. Join the seminar down below. It's a workshop, it's free, it's great fun. The teenagers love it and they give it 4-5 stars. Even though they're sitting there listening for an hour, they absolutely love it. So come join me. I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.